podcast in the world, the Julz Tex podcast. Hey, you're listening to the Julz Tex podcast.
Yo, what's up? It's Julz Tex podcast featuring yours truly and
Tex.
Tex here in the building. Where we talk about conspiracy theories, sports, video games, movies, fashion,
Pop culture.
whatever pops, we report it. It should be a popcast.
A pop
A
cast.
popcast.
Nice.
A cast that pops.
Shit, hopefully.
And we're
Shit.
sipping on some, a little bit of nice juice.
Some Douce.
I just moved into the crib. I don't got a cup. I had to cut a bottle in
You had
half.
to MacGruber that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Cut the top off the water bottle and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, what we sipping on? 100% what? Guave?
Agave.
What is that? Is that tequila?
That's tequila. That's like where they, like the straight abstract. Like
Yeah.
what they...
they get it straight from the tequila plant?
Yeah. Basically what they... what do you call it whenever
They
they...
milk the plant?
Yeah,
and they get
no,
tequila?
but what do you call it when they let it sit for like a while for it to just like...
Brew or
brew?
distill?
No. Distill.
Distill?
What distills, like, it's not like adding no concentrated shit. It's just 100% tequila.
Yeah, what you say it was year 1920? Great Depression tequila? Or what?
We're drinking moonshine like a bitch. This is
The Great Recession tequila?
I think it's from 2013.
2013?
2013
Shit, that's still
Yeah.
a long time.
That's really good, yeah.
That's almost 10 years, bro. That's crazy.
You know where I got it from? Billy Bob Thornton left that at the hotel.
Name dropping.
Yeah,
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob
bro?
Thornton. Yeah, he dropped. He left this at the hotel.
Bad Santa or who else?
Bad Santa, Bad News Bears.
Mr. Who? Mr. Woodstock?
Mr.
or-
Woodcock.
Mr. Woodcock, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Woodcock.
Shit,
Yeah,
Billy Bob
we're
Thornton,
drinking
bro.
his stuff right now.
Shit.
He wanted to be.
If you're listening to this, Billy Bob, we can ship it back to you. Just send us your address and we'll ship it right back.
Along with a couple of scripts.
I know. We'll send you a few scripts. Oh, you also have to pay for shipping and handling too, but we got you, Billy Bob.
The mango doesn't even hide the taste.
No, bro. That's what I was telling you. I almost threw that shit back. Oh, that shit was pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus.
And I finished that in like 2 sips, bro. Come on.
I finished that a lot.
Hey, bitch, don't keep my voice cracked. Don't. Fuck you. Don't do that.
You sound like Little Stitch. I finished that a lot. 2 seconds, right there.
Ohana means family. Fucking looking at.
Right, that shit. Nah, you're right.
Did I tell you? I did tell you I went to go watch Dune yesterday.
Yeah, dude. And how was it?
Honestly, it's a lot, bro. It's like dead ass. It's a lot.
It's a lot?
It's a lot. Like coming out of the movie theater, I had to sit in for like 20 minutes to think whether or not I like the movie or not. And right now, I'll probably say I like the movie, but I feel it's like one of those movies that you gotta watch like 3 times to like fall in love with it. You know?
Okay.
Because it's a lot. It's like it's a lot of lore. You know,
Yeah.
like you have to really listen to what they're saying, and sometimes they do a lot of talking like this, and you gotta like that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? But
You need
it's-
subtitles.
Yeah, if they had subtitles, I would have think it would have went from right now I have it like at a cool 7, but I feel like with that and more explanation, it would have went from a 7 to like easily like a 9, maybe a 10.
How's the cinematography?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful looking movie.
Is that Roger Deakins?
I don't think it's Roger Deakins. I don't
No.
think they did this one together, but it was nice. It was great on obviously on the Dolby Cinema.
Yeah.
It's a lot of lore. You really have to know what's going on. For like maybe a simple moviegoer, I would say maybe watch it with subtitles. If you have HBO Max, you can watch it on there with subtitles. I don't recommend it watching HBO Max.
You gotta get the whole movie
Because
view.
you got to get the whole movie experience,
Okay.
going to the movie theater and that. But Everybody did obviously a great acting job. Timothy Chalamet did his thing. Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, man.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac
did his thing. He's
Yeah.
a good-looking man in the movie. The entire movie, I was like,
Of
man,
course, yeah.
he has his fucking luscious beard
He's
and
gorgeous.
his slick back hair, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not fair, bro. Oscar Isaac out here fucking a
He's
10 out of 10
gorgeous.
looking man,
He's
bro.
gorgeous, yeah.
Dave Batista's in it. I don't know if you knew Dave Batista
Oh yeah,
was in it.
I did see in the
Polka
trailers.
Dot Man is in the movie.
He's in it too?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in the movie.
As Polka Dot Man.
They cross over a little bit, you
Yeah.
know. But I would say if you're into sci-fi and you're into you know what I would say? I would say it's kind of like Lord of the Rings, but in the future,
Okay.
but without the ring. But it's kind of like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings mixed together, you know? But I had a good time with it. I thought it was okay. Maybe on the second time I watch it, I would like it a little bit more, but it was okay.
Yeah. Is it gonna have an impact culturally? You think?
I'll just say I don't think we'll see a lot of people dressing up as Dune for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be one of those movies that 2 or 3 years from now, people are like, man, that was a classic. Maybe. You know,
Okay.
but it's one of those you have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I got to see the Batman trailer. It was I was like, the entire time I was like, man, if I don't get to see this new Batman trailer, I'm gonna be pissed. It was the last one.
was the last
I was
one?
like, yes. And it looked great on IMAX. It looked fucking
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm excited.
That's cool.
But what about you? Anything you watching, listening, reading?
Reading.
Oh, and that hold on, that Michael Bay movie, bro. I don't know, but I'm really excited to watch.
What did
that
you say
movie.
was in it?
It's Jake Gyllenhaal and
okay.
What's his name? He plays Black Manta in Aquaman, and he's also the main character in Candyland. I think his name is something. It starts with a Y. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's a great actor. And he was also in Black Mirror, opposite
Black Mirror.
of Anthony Mackie in that video game character movie. I mean, TV episode. They're both in it, and bro, I'm excited to see a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I would say that after all the Transformers.
Michael Bay movies are great.
Yeah, and it looks great, bro. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal looks like he's giving a hell of a performance in that movie.
Yeah,
And I'm excited
yeah.
to see it. Yeah.
Did you see that he was on a Netflix original?
I saw the movie.
Yeah.
I did see
you
that
saw the movie?
I saw the movie.
I only saw the beginning. I didn't get to. Like
I would say
he's like a 911 operator, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a 911 operator, and he's like handling one case. And I would say the performance is great, but the movie overall is a little iffy. You know, it's a little like disappointing. You know, but I would say Jake Gyllenhaal gives a hell of a performance in the movie,
Yeah.
and it's worth seeing it just for Jake Gyllenhaal. But
Okay.
don't expect like this movie to impact. Well, at least for me, it didn't really impact me any further than just Jake Gyllenhaal's performance.
Okay.
You know? But other than that, Dune, I would say go see. I would say go see Dune just to say you could see it, especially in the movie theater, because I don't think the small screen does it any justice. You know,
Yeah.
because there's some beautiful shots.
Yeah.
There are some shots I was like, okay, you know, like this is great. This is a good like looking shot, but I would say that they don't hold your hand throughout the movie. You know. Because, you know, in some movies, they'll be like, talking to the character, and they're like, well, this happened, and this, but they're really talking to you as the audience. But in this movie, they're just like, we're just assuming that you already, not already know, but, like, that you can catch, like, what we're, like, talking about, you know? Because there's, like, houses, like, you know, with, like, House of, you know, if it was you, House of Julz, House of Tex, you know, like, their own empire.
Okay.
But, like, you just had to listen. Because they tell you everything, but you have to pay attention and listen to what they're saying. You know?
Yeah.
But it's a solid movie. It's a good movie.
All right. Yeah, well, I'll check it out. I mean, I think my girl's going to want to go see it. And then we can probably go see it and shit. It didn't catch my attention like that.
The only reason I went... Because it didn't really catch my... I watched the trailers, and I was like... I don't know. One of the reasons that I wanted to go see is because, Denis Villeneuve is like, I would say top 5 directors working today.
Yeah.
And another reason is because the Dune books have been critically acclaimed. They're like, if you wanted to talk about like story wise, it's kind of like Star Wars impact wise.
Yeah.
Because they have attempted to make this movie before, like in 1984, director David Lynch tried to make a movie.
Oh, David Lynch tried to make that?
David Lynch.
Yeah, that's cool.
But like just back then, they didn't really have the technology to pull it off, and it was kind of subpar movie. They done a television series about it, but none of them have really caught the attention of like mainstream audiences. So I'm glad they gave it another crack at it. And the sequel has already been greenlit. They're gonna make a Dune 2. But I would just say go watch it in the big screen because that's the way to see it.
Okay.
Well, that's the way to see any movie, in my opinion, if you're asking me.
Yeah, of course.
But, yeah, because
Jack and Jill.
I guess, but I mean, I would say if it's a movie, it's meant to be on the big screen, no matter how bad or good it is.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like you're implying Jack and Jill is bad.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. But you cannot. When you watch it, just remember Adam Sandler was talking to himself the whole time.
I mean, the only props I'll give that movie is that Al Pacino turns in a performance of a lifetime, bro.
Come on, he's out here. He's filling up on Adam Sandler, bro.
You got a nice ass, Jill.
And Eugenio Derbez is in that too, right?
Who?
Eugenio Derbez from Familia Peluche. No, he is. No joke.
For real?
He's in there,
Play?
He plays like a grandma or something. Yeah, he does.
He does Adam Sandler's Spanish voice? Yeah, he plays double duty or what?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Now, is there anything that you've been watching and listening? Any albums? Any books? Any
right
podcasts?
Now, I've been heavy listening to Good AM by Mac Miller.
Oh, okay.
It came out in 2015.
Yeah.
And I heard it when it dropped because, I was big into Mac and stuff. But I think there's a song in there called Ascension that it's honestly one of my favorite songs of all time. Like
honestly, that song pops up a lot on my recommended or like.
Yeah, I mean, things. It's because like we share stuff to each other, and I've joined your parties, so Spotify knows we're friends.
Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, look what Julz has been listening to. Like, Ascension is top 5 songs I have ever heard. Like just not even production wise, just the message that he talks about. It's so good. And but I found myself always going back to that exact song. Yeah. And I don't know what I was doing when I was just like, man, like, I'm just going to listen to the whole project.
Mac Miller never really, I wouldn't say it never really appealed to me, but I would say that I find it so curious that he had such an impact on people. Yeah. What do you think it is that separates him from other people that made him have an impact like that? Because like everywhere I go, everybody's like, man, Mac Miller, Mac Miller. I'm like, damn, I never got onto that train. But like, what is it about people? And you know what?
You'll come to find that the artists that you like, they like Mac Miller.
Like Schoolboy Q, him and Mac Miller used to clown each other all the time.
Yeah, him and Kendrick too. Like they're all friends. ASAP. Just I don't know who else. Like I heard he was like cool with Young Thug recently.
Yeah.
Like because he was just like. He was just a rapper, but if you met him, he was like he played all the instruments. He knew how to play guitar, piano. I think he played a little bit of trumpet and sax. Like he was just in love with music. So when he talked, and then he could rap his ass off.
Yeah.
So he was just genuinely invested in the music like that. So when he would meet artists who really just all they do is rap and shit, they'd be like, yo, like this kid's really an artist.
Do you think people fucked with him because they saw how passionate he was in the music?
Yeah. And if you hear the music, it's the blueprint to how much he really cares about it. If you listen to Ascension talks about all of that. Like he just talks about being a brand new hit. Like, I mean, it's kind of like I'm butchering it, but like he says, like he just wants to be in a better position of where he's now. But he's like, I'm already at where I wanted to be when I was a little kid. Like, I'm already living my dreams.
Right.
So he's like, how much further could I get?
Yeah.
You know, is it religion? Is it God? Is it like a mental state? Like, what's next from here?
Yeah.
And that always, since I was just like, I think we were like sophomores.
What do you do when you reach the mountaintop, you know?
Yeah. It's like,
Is there a bigger mountain for you to climb?
Yeah. And that was where he was at.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to perfect himself, or like be better than himself every project. So he did that.
Yeah.
And me personally, I was never like on the whole train. Like how do you say whenever, what do you call an album that releases when they pass away?
Posthumous.
Posthumous,
album?
right?
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like, I know they did Circles. I have not heard Circles. Not because I'm on some hating shit.
Yeah.
I just feel like he wasn't there to really give the green light to
the
like,
songs, you know.
Yeah, to be like, yo, I like this. I
it's
like
kind
that.
of like he didn't get to put his artistic flavor onto it. I mean, he might have made the songs, but maybe he wanted to change a few things,
Exactly.
or maybe he wanted to scrap that song, you know.
Yeah,
and you just never know because like it's not you.
So it's just like I don't feel comfortable with that, and I've realized that a lot of people became fans with him because of that. Yeah, after he died, because of those projects, and I'm like, man, like.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that people. And like they go back and then they're just like, oh no, that last project he did is not even that good, or you know, no, nothing compares to Circles and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, that's the one that you met him at.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm a huge fan of like meeting them early on in their career, so I could follow them. Just on the trajectory to see like where their mind is going, where their space is going. And I was lucky enough that a lot of these artists that are really, really fucking big right now, I found them when they were just like
small,
ground level.
Yeah, because I remember, and I still remember this to this day. I remember you were playing What's Poppin' way before, and it even blew up.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, what song is this? And you're like, it's What's Poppin'?
Yeah.
And I remember like a month later, it was everywhere. It blew up, and I was like, I've been listening to this song, you know?
That's
like,
how I feel with like everything, and I get so annoyed. I don't know if you Doja Cat too.
Doja Cat to Moo and Juicy.
Yeah, like back.
Way all the way back there. I'm like,
and that shit's like everywhere.
Damn, man.
I just feel like no weird shit. I just feel like I've always had that ear for
what's next.
Like it's what's good, and I see it. Like it's almost like I can envision what they're gonna do. Yeah. I'm not right all the time, you know. Like I think I dropped the ball with the Pop Smoke.
Yeah,
that's the only one that I was like, this cat needs to fucking go.
Yeah, you weren't on that Pop Smoke train for a while, but I think he dropped Through the Night. Is that what?
Yeah, Through the Night. Yeah. But look, what upset me is because I was being too much of a fan, because I know the history of the drill music. And I know that came from the UK. Yeah. So I was just like, why is he? You know.
Well, it didn't come from. I always thought drill music came from Chicago.
No. Yeah. Well, yes, it did. Yeah. But like it, just the bounce and the levels that they were putting out, that exact sound. Yeah. It was from the UK.
Okay.
And I was just like, man, like, ain't no way this guy's just coming and then claiming it as a New York sound, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what bothered me about Pop Smoke. I was like, man, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But I heard, or I later found out actually, that his producer was from London, and he didn't know that Pop was from like New York. He just thought Pop was like like a weird deep voice dude, you know?
Yeah.
And they started making songs, and you know,
I think it's called For the Night, right? The album, or Shoot for the Star, or that's the posthumous one?
Oh, you mean the project?
Yeah, well, what's the project that made you like
the project is Into the Woo or something like that.
Yeah, Into the Woo or Meet the Woo.
Or something like that. Meet the Woo 2, I think. Yeah. Is the one that I was like, oh shit.
That's the one with Welcome to the Party.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I know he also has like an R&B track on the new one, right?
Yeah,
Shoot for the Star.
It's the You Ain't Know I Can Sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? What's that one called? Shorty little buddy.
Yeah, I know that
what's
song.
What's it called? Well, that one.
Yeah. What do you think like about like all these early deaths in hip hop?
You know it.
Like, for example, Mac Miller, X, Pop Smoke. You know, who else? Who else
I
has
think-
passed away? Juice World, obviously.
You know what? It painted to me. I mean, I'll tell you my different stages with it. My first stage with it was, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to hear more music. That's just the fan in me. It was like, man, I wanted to hear
Right.
more music. Oh, man, we didn't get to see them live out and flourish their career and stuff.
Artistically, right.
Artistically, la. And then the second stage was like, yo, you know what? They're people.
Yeah.
Just like you and me. Like, we just put them on a pedestal, but it just kind of painted to me. They got painted to me as people now because I was like, man, they bleed red.
Yeah. They can die.
They have a timer on them,
Yeah.
just like me.
Right.
So it humanized them,
Right.
you know?
It took them off the pedestal that people have.
Like, or that tend to put with these guys, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, like, I know it's not the first artist that died, like the big artists, like, you know, Elvis and
You know,
Michael
Elvis,
Jackson.
And for hip hop, Biggie,
you know,
Tupac.
Biggie, Tupac, right? So it was
Eazy, yeah.
like I didn't feel that same way. So it's like these were like the artists that I grew up with that
Right.
hurt me, and I was like, man, like I'm gonna get there at some point too. Not for those reasons, right? But just like it just kind of broadened that out for me.
Right.
Like I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pass away at some point.
Yeah.
Because I've only had one, you know, I've been really blessed with my life. I've only had one true close friend pass away.
Right.
So, like, not even no close family pass away or anything.
Right.
Like, I just been blessed like that.
Yeah.
So, it highlighted death to
Right.
me. So, it made me just realize, like, man, we all have a timer on us.
Everybody has a time to go. And,
You know?
sometimes that timer can expire earlier than you think.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think about like the violent, like Nipsey Hussle and like Pop Smoke? What do you think that? What kind of
Man.
message that sends for hip hop? You know.
Man.
Just only for hip hop, because I mean,
Okay, only for
obviously
hip-hop.
because like no, you don't hear no country singers getting into beef, and then you know someone from Nashville shoots up Blake Shelton or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit don't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously, hip hop has kind of a track record of that happening. You know,
Yeah.
And someone from Chicago be talking shit about someone, and then they show up, do a concert in Chicago, and they get shot at.
It's like the what's it called? What do they call the players? What's it called? What's that? Dave Chappelle skit? The
international player hater.
player hater.
They have they're hating.
Yeah, they're
each
hating
other.
each other. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's really what it is. You know,
It's just people hating.
it's just they got
They're jealous.
big egos, and they just gotta hate on everybody because it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
What I think it sends out is just that. I don't want to speak too much on just hip hop. I just want to speak more on the black culture and the just American culture
Yeah.
and just the times that we're living in. I tend to, and this is just deep. I don't even want to feel like this is what it is. But they just want to show the world that a black man can't succeed that much without it affecting the way that he goes.
Yeah.
You know, like he was doing things for the community.
Yeah, Nipsey. You talking about Nipsey?
Yeah,
right?
Nipsey. Yeah, Nipsey.
okay.
Yeah, he was doing things for the community. He had the whole Crenshaw brand going. He would take care of his individual sections.
Yeah.
Like he did amazing things. He would have charities, the back to school things. He would just do great things. I can't help but to think that it was plotted for it to be like, because I heard a Crip.
Yeah.
It was a Crip
Yeah.
that killed him.
And what was Nipsey, a blood or?
No, Nipsey was a Crip.
Okay.
That's what you associate the blue with.
Yeah.
Nipsey.
Okay.
So I just felt like it was plotted by someone in the government to show like.
Well, also during that time, and this is getting back to conspiracy theory, but during that time he was also making a documentary on a doctor who claimed to have cured not only I think cancer,
but
and
HIV, yeah.
and other diseases through natural remedies, and he was making a documentary about it. And this doctor, I think, ended up going to court, and I think he proved that he actually did cure some of these cases. So, do you think maybe that had something to do with it, or you just don't want to touch that subject?
Nah, we can touch it because I mean it's all up for grabs.
Right.
But it's just to me, as much as I want to go into that,
Yeah.
I feel like race and just
play more of a factor
into it to kind of send a message out to these people like, hey, don't get too successful. Yeah. Don't try to help everybody. Like, you know, we can't help everybody. Right. Like, it's just like kind of like a big middle finger to the whole community. Right. And I don't even want to say just black community, but just like the lower, like the lower income, lower minorities, like just people like we're always gonna be at the top. Yeah. You know. Okay. But if you want to touch on that subject, they do make a lot of money on people that have AIDS. Yeah. That have I don't even like saying AIDS. Such a gross
HIV.
Word. People that have HIV, people that have cancer, they make millions. And most people that have cancer, they're not out here, you know, in the high economy class.
I mean, if you think about it, what's the incentive of curing these things, you know? Think of it as a big business. What is the incentive to cure a disease?
It should be quality of life.
It should be I want to pronounce this word, but I don't think I can pronounce it. I guess I feel like the goal should be to preserve life.
Preserve life, yeah.
Right? But they don't see it that way. They see it, well, how does this affect my pockets? If I put out a medicine that cures cancer, then that's it. I lose that customer, you know? But if I give him treatments that may or may not cure it, he'll keep coming back or she'll keep coming back, and then I can take more and more money from him. Mm-hmm. And that's a conspiracy that I've heard of, and that's like an early if it's like we were talking about last week on the iceberg, it would be on top of the surface of the iceberg, and that's called Big Pharma, you know.
I've heard about Big Pharma.
Big Pharma, which is all these like pharmaceutical companies, you know, it's a theory that they have the cures, you know. It's just they don't send them out because, you know, it's more profitable for them to put out these medicines that kind of treat your sickness but doesn't cure it all the way. But I don't know. I think it's a shame that, you know, Nipsey died. It's just, I mean, I never listened to his music, but I do know a few people who, like, when he died, it really impacted him, you know? Yeah. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know. I've only heard, like, a couple of songs. And I wasn't on no fake shit just because I know what it is like for someone to just bandwagon. Yeah. So I just didn't go and listen to the music. I gave myself some time to process just what was really going on. Yeah. And I was just hurt by the stopping of what he was doing. Yeah. I mean, it's still going on because he had people that would, you know, he left in charge and whatnot. But it's just like, man, he was the founder.
Okay. Not trying to change topics, but I'm really thinking about it. But not a lot of these artists really had a big impact on me when they died. I feel like the biggest celebrity that had an impact on me when he died was Kobe. And because, like, you know, I mean, obviously I like Pop Smoke. I rock with his music. I like Juice WRLD. I liked maybe X was maybe a close person, but like, but when I found out Kobe died, you know, I actually shed a tear, you know, because you know I've seen him play, you know, since maybe my earliest recollection of watching Kobe play, maybe 2004, 2005. Yeah. And, you know, I've seen him play. I've seen him tear up the Mavericks. I've seen him lose to the Mavericks, you know. And, you know, he just had an impact on me because, you know, he was out here trying to help out the younger superstars like Giannis, like you know, Kyrie, all these people, you know. And to die in a way with his daughter in a helicopter crash, I was like, man, like,
what a way to go.
He was only like 43, you know, like super young. He still had like he just won an Academy Award for a short documentary on basketball. Like he was still going, and it was a shame.
Dear basketball.
Yeah, and it was a shame, and I actually shed a tear. I was like, man, Kobe died. Like I thought I was gonna be like 50, and then I would find out Kobe died, you know, but. Nah, like he just died, and
I'm actually getting a little emotional.
Yeah,
like I still remember where I was. I was actually in the Niles ABC. Yeah, we were setting up for a banquet.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a Sunday. a Sunday that happened or a Saturday, because I remember sitting. I was home, and I remember
it had to be a Friday. I want to say Friday because it was the day of the Grammys.
Honestly, I think it was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday?
I think it was a Sunday.
Okay.
Because I remember I was on, I don't know, I was on some comment section. I saw R.I.P. Kobe, and I was like, y'all need to stop. Like,
that's not funny.
That's not funny.
That's
like,
not funny.
Don't be saying R.I.P. to
anybody. That became a little trend.
Yeah.
Like for a little bit where they were just saying R.I.P. bullshit just to... I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck that was for. Like they just start that shit for no reason.
And then I refreshed my Instagram page, and there it was on you know, I guess to drop some pages, the Shade Room, TMZ, NBA, all these pages were like Kobe has, you know, died in a helicopter crash, and I was like,
you know, and you know what I remember? I remember that like a week prior to that, I told you. I think I talked to you about it. I don't know. I want to say it was you. That I was like, man, like this guy Kobe has like an insane work ethic. Like,
the
Mamba mentality. I had told you like I was reading. I think I was reading some stuff that he would practice. Like he wouldn't even hang out with his friends and stuff. Like he'd just go straight to the gym or straight to something.
Man.
Like he just had that. And I think it was you that I told you like, yo, like I've been reading a lot about Kobe, like the things that he was doing. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was like a week prior, like 2 weeks prior, but yeah. Like, it shit hurts.
It hurts, man. Like,
it hurts.
Shit, like, I never thought... Just because I don't like to hold people to that standard because, you know, just the way I think you shouldn't really put anybody on that standard because they'll eventually, you know... I guess in my head, I feel like they're going to let you down eventually because everybody in the world is not perfect and... You know, there's no way for you to, like, expect them to be on that pedestal for as long as, you know, you think they should be, you know?
Yeah.
And when I saw that he died, I was like, man, like, why is this hurting so much, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, obviously Kobe had his faults, you know? He had the scandal in the early 2000s, but, you know, I don't know. I feel like he still had a lot of life to live. And, you know, especially with his daughter on the crash, I can only imagine, you know, what the final moments were. I don't want to really go into details like that because, you know, that's really personal. But, like, imagine you're about to go down and your daughter's right there. What do you do? Like, what kind of situation is that? But I don't know.
We can only imagine.
I just want to say, you know, on record, you know, R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah,
know,
no,
like just
rest in peace. Like just
rest in peace. I hope you know
someone who lived what some would say just a really full life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I get upset because I don't want to talk about this too much, but I get upset just because I'm just like, man, he had just like I think he was like on his third retired year, right?
I think it was his
third.
Yeah, third year.
Yeah, like you know, he was finally
at the coaching too. His daughter's team. And
he stopped by Jimmy Kimmel, I think, and he was like, he's like, I don't even think about basketball. Like I'm just out here eating what I want to eat.
Got a little chubby.
He had the little beer belly going. And he wasn't ashamed. He was just like, you know, you could tell he just had like some glow on him. Like, man, like I did what I did. You know what I mean? And that's enough for me.
Okay, one last thing before, you know, because we can go for hours about Kobe.
Yeah.
But one thing I always respected about Kobe is that he always respected greatness. You know?
Yeah.
He always respected, like, he might not have thought you were better than him, but when he sees greatness, you know, he acknowledges it. You know, he doesn't hate or anything, but he's like, you know, I know you're great, but I'm going to do better than you. But I know that you're, you know, because I remember I was watching this game live. It was Mavericks and Lakers. Kobe wasn't playing the entire game. I think he was out. I think that's when he was still recovering from his Achilles tear. But it was the closing few seconds of the game. Dirk Nowitzki had the ball. I think he was posting up maybe Jordan Clarkson or Larry Nance. And he's going to do the classic Dirk fadeaway. And then, so he's holding it with 5 seconds left. You know, it's like 12 seconds counting down, 5 on the shot clock. He's one-on-one, Jordan Clarkson or Larry Nance. They rush the double team. Dirk hits the fadeaway, nails the shot. He bumps into Kobe. And then Kobe spanks him on the butt, and he looks at his teammates like, "Hey, that's dirt, bro. ain't much you can do about that, bro."
Yeah.
And he just gave him that little nod of respect, and I'm like, Kobe knows. Kobe's that person who knows.
Of course,
greatness.
That's how you should envision life in general.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you should ever feel like feel comfortable with yourself and know who you are, because right?
Yeah.
We're all good in our respective areas of, I guess what we do, but you never hate.
Yeah.
I never been one to hate. I was for a little bit, but I don't hate. I feel like if I would have hate, I feel like you and me wouldn't have been friends, and I feel like a lot of our friends that we have in our circle now, we wouldn't be friends with them,
right?
Because like they're all great at something,
right?
Like and I don't want to say I want to get that from Kobe, but I feel like Kobe just grew up with that, just good morality.
If he sees you putting in that effort, or at least like one thing I always knew about Kobe is that he expects. It's kind of like the thing where he doesn't ask you to do something if he's not going to do it himself. He's not going to ask you to stay into 3 a.m. in the gym working on his jumper if he's not there too,
Yeah.
Because he puts in the hours, and he wouldn't expect you to like do it, and he's like, all right, I'm going home at 7 p.m. I'm going to go chill. No, he's in the gym too. He's putting in that work too. So he expects you to do that too,
Yeah.
And, I can respect that as an ethic,
Yeah.
Like, one of my philosophies, I guess, in life is, if I'm not willing to do it, I'm not going to ask you to do it either, So I respect that. He was kind of the same way, I mean, he could have been he was Kobe could have been a dick a few times to some of his teammates, but it's because he put in that work. He cared about the sport of basketball.
He cared, yeah.
But
I think there's a reasoning behind everything.
Yeah.
So like everything there's a purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't just because he was straight up just like a dick.
But going back to Mac Miller and all that, any Ascension?
So I mean, Ascension, like I've been listening to it just because I feel like I'm in a place right now where I've set a lot of goals in my mind and I haven't done any of them.
Right.
I just know I'm capable of doing it, and this is like really personal. I don't want to say it, but
right.
I'm really good at learning. I'm really good at mastering whatever I get into. I know I could be the best at it because I don't know, it's a gift, right?
Right.
But I'm doing all these things and I'm like, what am I going to get out of it?
Right.
It's like, am I really chasing money? Like, I'm living well.
It's like, what do you want?
What do you want?
Right.
Yeah, like, what do you want? Like,
at the end of the day, do you want recognition? Do you want money? Do you want fame?
I sit down and I think about that and I'm like, you know what? I don't want recognition. I don't care about recognition. Like, a multitude of people think of you doesn't matter, because what matters is what you think of yourself.
Right.
Do I want awards? Like, do I want a Grammy? Do I want an Oscar? Do I want all these things? And I was just sitting down and I was thinking, I was like, man, I don't really want anything. I just want to know that I did it.
Right.
And that's good enough for me. Like, I don't care to get anything outside of what I am giving myself.
Right.
And that's just the love that I'm giving myself by accomplishing the goals that I set for myself, not only when I was younger, but as I continue to grow.
Right.
So, and the whole song doesn't deal with all of that. That's just me being more personal about it. Or that's what I get out of the song.
That's what you interpret from the song.
Yeah, and right. I'm just like, I just have to be a brand new me, but also acknowledge the old me as a stage that I was in that was necessary for me to even carry to where I am now.
Yeah, to evolve into who you are now.
I'm just in that space right now where it's just like, yeah.
Well, I always found it like, I mean, me and you, I guess we're both trying to pursue a career in being an artist, I guess,
Yeah.
I'm more
respective art.
Yeah, I'm more on the side of filmmaking and movies, and you're more on the music side. But for me, I've always wanted two things from it. One is to make sure, me or my family never has to really work for the rest of your life. If I at the end of the day could say, I made it to the point where none of my family really had to work anymore, I would consider that happy. I would be, I would be fulfilled. And the second point is getting my vision I guess getting my vision to be seen. You know, I want to put something out there, not for the acclaim or the rejection, but to say, look, here's what I can do, and here it is. Show my vulnerability to the world, and whether they reject it or accept it, it's out there. I put everything into it, and I can say 100% that this is mine. I made this with the collaboration of other people, but this was my vision, and here it is, as an artist.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, I can't really say, but if I like it, then here it is,
Yeah.
But I always felt like that was the goal for me, get some work out and make sure my family's taken care of, But, for other people, it's different things, because, I guess we know some people, who are just in it for like clout chasing or in it for, this or that. And it's never been about that. Like,
just self-appeal.
It's just been about trying to put your best footing out there, trying to make sure, at least for me, I want to make sure my integrity's still intact by the end of it. I don't want to. Not saying I'm not willing to make sacrifices, maybe on like some things, but to say at the end of it, I'm proud of what I did, to be able to say that would mean the world to me, to say I went out there and I did it, and maybe I failed, maybe my movies fucking suck and everybody hates them, but hey, at least I did it,
Yeah, like, you took that chance. Some people don't even get halfway there. Yeah. Like, some people just have the idea and then they sit around and work at a corporate job, and
And if that makes them happy,
that's what I'm getting to. Like, it doesn't make them happy.
Yeah.
They just live in this constant state of what if.
Yeah.
And they get unhappy, and some feel like some people build depression, they build ideas, they build self-hatred, and because of things that they themselves have control over of.
Right.
So I just want to be that person that can not only inspire people to fucking do it, but also like show them that you can do it. Like someone, a chubby little Mexican kid can do it. Like a short chubby Mexican kid can do it. Like, yo, like nothing can stop you. Like you don't have to be this. Like, I feel like Hollywood right now is some good-looking people, it's just like, oh, man, I got to be like her, or I got to be like him.
Yeah.
It's like, you can do it if you believe it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If you're talented enough, and if you put in that work, you can do it.
If you love it enough. Because Tarantino ugly as hell.
Yeah. Hey, but he has a beautiful mind. Beautifully twisted mind.
Come on.
We're having a very introspective episode of
Julz and Tex. This man trying to put his name in the front.
No, it's because I was about to say the Family Guy thing. I was about to say that, and I was like, no, it's Julz and Tex. I don't know, man.
This is like this. This isn't what we were gonna even talk about in the first place.
I know. I mean, it just happens, and we filled up a good amount of time already.
Because look, I just met up with Tex, and we didn't even like talk. We just got straight to record.
We just started, and this is the conversations we having sometimes. So I mean, it is what it is. But
you happen to get okay.
But sometimes it's, I don't know, man. It's just you gotta put your best footing forward, and I feel like some people, and I don't want to like put down like, if you don't want to aspire to be that, then don't. If you're happy working a 9 to 5, then do that. Do what makes you happy at the end of the day is what I feel like should be the standard. If your standard, because for the longest I always had, I guess, aspirations to, try to do something big, And at first, I wanted to be an actor at first, but shit, I can't act for shit. But I always knew how to give direction. I always remember this one time I was helping, I think it was like 10th grade, and I was in English class, and someone asked me, "Hey, what does this mean?" And like I explained it to him enough for them to be like, "Okay, I understand what this meant." And the teacher's right there, and they're like, "You explained that pretty well." I'm like, "Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not that hard to understand if you know what it is, you know."
Yeah.
So I always felt like I was good at giving direction, or at least kind of explaining what what I'm trying to say. So I was like, well, I mean, maybe if this acting thing doesn't give out, because I remember I tried out for a few theater arts thing. I never got the role.
With Penland? Miss Penland?
Yeah, I always ended up being the...
Shouts out Miss Penland.
Yeah, she was cool.
Amazing theater arts teacher.
And it's funny because I remember one time we were in the auditorium and they were practicing their play. And I was there. I was the only one paying attention. And she turned around and was like, "Hey, guys, do you have any criticisms or anything?" And I was looking around and no one was saying anything. I was like, well, I kind of felt like, and I told her, I was like, I kind of felt like they needed to be more expressive. It kind of felt kind of flat, their performance. And she like, "You hear that, guys? You hear that? Y'all need to put more effort into it."
Yeah.
And,
this random guy in the crowd thinks that.
And it's crazy because, like, I feel like she understood that, like, I knew what I was kind of talking about because, I kind of explained to her, like, hey, like, they're coming off a little flat, they could give a little bit more oomph, put a little bit more character work into it, and from there, I became, I think, when we ended up going to UIL regionals and I was a sound person for it, I only had to hit like a few buttons to play the sound, but either way, it was a good experience.
You did something. And you have that UIL thing on whenever we graduated,
yeah,
right?
The UIL, yeah, I had my medals and all that. Come on, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, and
I had shit.
The acting thing wasn't working, so I guess directing and maybe writing it might be something that
forte.
Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, and I have things that you've written.
Yeah,
like they're good. They're not bad.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're not like all the way there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're all first drafts.
Yeah, no, and not even that. Like like my imagination doesn't take me where yours might be.
Yeah.
So the way you picture everything could be different. Way fucking off of what I read. You know what I mean? So for me to even say that it's not all the way there, it's like it's very. I don't like using this fucking limited word. No, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know what you have in mind.
What I envision.
You know what I mean? I just read what I read, and my wacky mind. All I watch is cartoons.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
He whistled.
That's the thing with written things. You can read something, but what's playing out in your head could be different between people. That's why adaptations from books, there's always going to be some part of the fan base that's always going to be.
There's only one that's perfect, and that's Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Yeah, that's my fucking favorite movie of all time. Because the author of the book was also the screenwriter and the director of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And he casted the cast, too.
Yeah.
So, that's the only one that's just spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fucking good.
I still haven't seen that movie.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen it.
Come on, bro. But, Emma Watson.
Ezra Miller. Who else? There's a third one.
Well, what's his name from Percy Jackson?
Oh, Logan Lerman?
Yeah. Fucking great movie. Great fucking movie, yeah. Yeah, I cried like a baby.
Yeah.
I was 12.
Nah.
Yeah, so.
All right.
They can't talk shit.
Yeah, all right, whatever. I mean, this was like 2 minutes ago, but
I'm emotional. You know that.
No, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough to do an adaptation from a book, but.
Yeah, but see, that's where direction comes into play. That's why you're a director. Yeah. It's that's where you shine. Yeah. That's because it's your mind.
Right.
They wouldn't get all this recognition if they weren't the ones really building the picture.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's so limited. It's so subjective for me to be like, You know what I mean? Because I don't go into that wacky mind.
Until it happens on screen, you don't know, right? Yeah. You don't know how good or bad it is until you actually see the final product.
Yeah.
Or maybe during editing, but that's more of the behind the scenes. But as an audience, you never know how good a movie is until you see the final product,
Yeah.
So
that's why the actors are important.
Yeah.
The producers are important.
If I were to say maybe the hierarchy on a movie, it would be maybe the director, number one. Number two, maybe the screenwriter. You don't think the screenwriter would be number two?
I think cinematography is number two. I think it's really important. Well, fuck yeah.
Because I would kind of throw in cinematography with direction, but I could also see why it would be a separate category. It has to be
its own thing.
Then I guess if you're throwing cinematography as its own little thing.
But I can see why it's third, though.
Yeah.
I can see it as third. If you want to put screenwriting second,
yeah,
you could put cinematography as third.
Because I feel like if you have a good direction of the movie and a good script, you know, you can get by some boring cinematography, you know, some standard shots. You don't have to have the great, you know. I'm just saying, for an entertaining movie, I feel like, you know, you can kind of get past with some meh cinematography.
Yeah.
It's not my preference, you know, but... You know, you can get past it. I always feel like the most important thing in a movie will always be the characters. Because you could have the most boring story, but if those characters are entertaining, you're going to want to hang out with them no matter what adventure they're going through.
Yeah,
you
that's true. That's true.
Because you could have them, you know, going to the convenience store. But if these characters are entertaining enough where you want to hang out with them on their little walk to the convenience store, you know, then there you go.
Okay, bring up Superbad.
Yeah. But I mean, there you go, Superbad.
Yeah, I know.
What's the plot of Superbad? What are they trying to do?
They're trying to go to a party.
Go to a party.
And buy liquor. And get to the party with the liquor.
And you see how simple that plot is.
Yeah.
They're trying to get to a party so they can get pussy. You know, that's the plot of the movie. If you were to tell someone, hey, you want to watch this movie? And they're like, what it's about? It's about these high school students who are trying to go to a party and get some pussy and get some liquor. You know, they're going to be like, eh. But, like, if you show them the movie, at least, you know, I guess the majority of people, or maybe, it's tough because comedy's so tough, but, like, for me at least, these characters are entertaining enough where I could watch a whole fucking sequel of them doing the same thing just because these characters are entertaining enough for me to want to hang out with them. It goes the same for like The Office, like for Friends, for all these little shows or movies, you know. They could be doing absolutely nothing, but if they're entertaining enough where you feel like I feel like these are my friends, you know. I want to hang out with them more. Then I feel like you've done kind of your job. Yeah. You know? But I also feel like if you want to make a perfect movie, everything has to be clicking on all cylinders, you know?
What do you think? And don't give me the fucking jinky ass, fucking regular ass answer that, you know.
What?
Everybody fucking gives. But what do you feel is the perfect movie? And I don't mean like... like, no, like, you know, Academy Award, no, like, just with that in play. Like, entertainment, acting, direction. I have one in mind, but I want to see what you say first. Because if you say what I'm saying, I'll get up and make out with you right now.
I don't think it's going to be what you're thinking.
Yeah, you know what? I'm scared because I feel like it is.
I don't think so, because I feel like, I'll just say the director. But I say maybe for me, what I feel cinema is...
Oh, wait, pause. You got to say the movie. I didn't say director. You got to say the movie.
No, I'm going to say the movie too.
Okay.
But I'm going to say the director first. So
okay, if you say the director, I'll let you know if like, oh, shit.
I don't think it is. But
yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
Well, it's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, it
is. Get ready, guys, for a makeout.
I know. I'm about to make out.
I would say out of all his movies, I don't... Let me guess what you think it is.
Yeah.
Is it Pulp Fiction?
No, it's not.
Is it Django Unchained?
It's Django Unchained.
I was going to say Django Unchained, bro. It's because not only...
it's Django. I was looking at you. I was like...
so hype, bro. Yeah. Like, the thing about cinema is that it has everything. It has beautiful cinematography.
Yep.
The acting is amazing.
Yep.
The script is amazing.
Yep.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Great.
And, like... It does the little small moments so great. Like, it has, like, classic moments in the movie.
It's
and
amazing.
I'm like, And it's funny because this was the movie. I watched this movie and I didn't know anything about it. I was like, let me watch this movie. It's by, I was barely getting into movies, so I was going through all the big directors like Quentin Tarantino's, Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, all these directors, Stanley Kubrick, Steven Spielberg. So I was going through all their movies and I was like, let me watch Django. And when I watched the movie, I was like, damn, I want to make a movie. Yeah. It really set off that thing. It's not my favorite movie. It's not my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, no, same. But it's like
I'm like, this is what movies should inspire.
The replay value that Django Unchained has is crazy.
I can honestly sit down and watch it
back to back
as many times as I want. It's just like I'm like, damn, like it's funny. Mm-hmm. It's also, it gets you like pumped up at the same time. It makes you feel some emotionally,
My heart's pounding fast as shit because I knew you were gonna say Django because I was thinking Django.
You were thinking Django.
Yeah, it's just like Django is like perfect.
And like it had like I said, one thing about movies that I like is that they have these little small moments where I feel like, damn, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah,
like. I love it when, they're not afraid to be, cheesy or like, they're not afraid. It's just like, it's a movie at the end of the day, like you want to walk up and feel like pound your fucking chest sometimes, and Django has those moments. It has a little passionate character moments as well where you like sit down and you're like, damn, I feel bad for this character, I feel bad for this. And then Leonardo DiCaprio fucking kills it as fucking Calvin Candy, and Samuel Jackson plays the Uncle Tom of the whole film. I'm like, shit, and it's crazy that we now have recorded documentary or recorded things of Leonardo DiCaprio saying the N-word, which is crazy because I would have never thought we would hear Leonardo be saying all this crazy stuff, but like. He put in. I don't know how he didn't like. Well, I know why he didn't. Win the best supporting actors because Christoph Waltz came in there and just like this is my Oscar. Yeah, Christoph Waltz did his thing as
that was his
Dr.
second
Schultz.
one, right?
His second one
because he won with Inglourious Bastards, right?
With Hans Landa.
Hans Landa.
And Inglourious Bastard, which is another good one. It would have maybe been my third or fourth.
I think fourth.
Because I feel like some of the pacing has some issues, like it's a little slow at some times. But it's still a great movie. But Django Unchained is just chef's kiss, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it really inspired me to do better, It just set the bar high. Because that's the movie that really inspired me to want to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Freaking Quentin Tarantino was a freaking Blockbuster. He didn't work for Blockbuster, but he worked for a video store.
Yeah, video store.
And,
he had no background, just a huge fan.
Yeah.
Just a huge fan. Like, I think what really... motivated me to all of that is just the fact that he does everything so precisely.
Yeah, no, he's a freaking
and I hope you don't mind if I just like talk real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the way that he tells a story, it just feels so personal. It feels so real. It feels so cinematic. Like I you can go from watching like Kill Bill Volume 1, Volume 2, like it he doesn't miss. Like, Pulp Fiction is great. Reservoir Dogs is great. Jackie Brown is great.
Hey,
like
Jackie Brown is low-key underrated.
Yeah.
In my book, like, not a lot of people talk about Jackie Brown.
The opening scene is great. Like, the opening scene is, like, honestly, like, I don't feel like I have to watch the whole movie. Like, I could just watch the opening scene and know what's up.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, shit. I already know how the movie ends.
I know how it ends. I'm just going to watch another one.
But, I would say, at least for me, what makes cinema so great for me is that it's so diverse, One moment we could be watching the Avengers where the whole world is going to explode and then the next moment we could be watching a movie like Moonlight. It's a personal story about a gay or an LGBTQ.
Was it your first time watching Moonlight with me?
Yeah,
Watch Moonlight?
and it's a personal story, about the struggles of being a black man and being, being gay.
Yeah.
And you get ridiculed and you get bullied so much, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful movie because it's so personal, and it's so small, and it's not meant to be a big movie, but it's supposed to just touch you. It's supposed to tell you a story. And I love those movies. Like, honestly, would I prefer to see maybe a small personal story over a big one? Yeah. It's because I honestly care more about characters than I do about the spectacle, about a big explosion. If you can capture, a character moment, even if it's a sad movie, I would prefer seeing one of those, because it puts more integrity. You're like, damn, I went on this journey with this person, and maybe the world isn't ending, maybe they are fighting aliens, maybe they don't have superpowers, maybe they don't need guns to fight their way out, but like, it's just real shit.
It's just as real as it gets.
Yeah, and
that's why my favorite one is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
Yeah, man, that movie traumatized, bro. I remember I was watching it with you for the first time.
We were in the living room, right?
Yeah, and I had to get up and leave because the ending scene gave me an anxiety attack. I was like, bro, no mames. They just said she wasn't gonna die, and she's right here.
Chill, spoiler.
Bro, the title is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Come on, bro. But spoilers from here on out about Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Right. The Dying Girl dies at the movie. Shit. I'm sorry for spoiling a fucking...
Nah, that movie, that ass, like, that, it's between Perks
and Me, Earl,
and the Dying Girl. And because I'm a sucker for little indie coming-of-age movies. Like, that's... I just, I love that shit. So that movie just touches the whole, like... I could watch it if I want to leave. Like, if I'm tired of the world that I'm around living in, I just pop that movie in the DVD or Blu-ray. And I just, I leave. Yeah. And I hope I don't know if you know this, but I watch my movies with headsets now.
Yeah.
Just because, like...
Just the sound mixing.
The sound, it makes it more better.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll come to tell you, a lot of shows, they fucking suck at mixing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not that good. They're not that good, but movies do a really good job. That's why now I'm paying more attention to like the sound mixing in movies now, because that shit matters a lot. It matters a lot.
Like, honestly, like, I don't know. I just think about it like, if I were to make a movie, I would want, everything at its,
Yeah.
Like, if I'm making a fucking hyper, sci-fi movie, I want every little noise to be so, like, transforms you into a different world. Like, I don't want you to like be sitting like thinking like, hey, I'm in the movie theater watching a movie. No, I want you to be in this world. And that goes with so many other things: costume design, set design, acting, direction, the writing. It's about being immersed in a world. That's why I like to see it in the theater, because all the distractions are gone.
You gotta go watch it in the Omni Theater then.
In the Omni
we gotta
Theater?
go to the Natural Museum. That's where they got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the dinosaurs at?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go there.
Shit, then we gotta do it.
I think they might have Dune there. We should go watch Dune.
Dune?
Yeah, because I haven't seen it. We can go watch Dune.
I'm down to watch it again. Like, I'm telling you, Dune needs to be like a movie you need to watch multiple times.
At the theater, you think?
Yeah, especially at the theater.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like these little things matter. It never take a movie soundtrack or a movie like. One thing I'm a big fan of is beautiful cinematography. Like, you could have the shittiest movie and I might not like it, but I feel like cinematography is important, because I like to see these images, and especially color. Color is a big thing to me. I feel like color should be bright and nice and beautiful. Even if it has like darker tones, I feel like it should be still like eye popping. Like you want to notice, unless it's a specific thing where it's supposed to blend into the background. But cinematography is one of the things I like seeing, like cool shots. I like to see the camera move. I hate seeing a movie where it's only the character one shot back and forth. You just see the character and then maybe the background, and it keeps cutting back and forth between characters, and I feel like that's so boring. Move the camera, be more experimental with the camera, like that's
be
our
immersive.
That's our POV as the audience, is the camera. Like move it around, do a one shot, or do like a cool movement over the top of the head into be creative.
Yeah.
Like
why is porn more immersive than movies?
like they get right into the actor's butthole. Like, come on, what are you doing out here, fucking Christopher Nolan? Get into that butthole, man.
Y'all need to talk to some Pornhub producers, man.
Get them to be cinematographers, bro. But you know what I'm talking about, the back and forth cuts between shots. Like I always feel like that's so boring. Be creative with the camera. That's why I love people like Roger Deakins. Especially with
Prisoners
Prisoners.
Prisoners is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. Like it's so good.
Yeah,
and honestly, a lot of it is Roger Deakins to me.
Yeah,
like it's not the storytelling shots, but just like the B-roll in it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
And like people like Bill Pope, who did, I think, the majority of the original Spider-Man movies. It's just like these shots like are just so iconic.
They're majestic. They have like this poster feel vibe. And honestly, the Spider-Man posters are so iconic to me.
Yeah.
Like just like I remember we were little kids, and I remember just thinking like, wow, that is such a cool.
For the longest time, I remember, I think 3rd grade, they were having like these cardboard cutout contests, and then you would put tickets into the cardboard you want.
That's cool.
And they would pick out because you would write your name on the ticket, and they would be like, all right, this one goes to. I put all my fucking tickets into the Spider-Man 3 cutout. It was the one where it's like on one side it's the regular Spider-Man, on the other side it's the black suit Spider-Man. Yeah. I was like, it was fucking huge. It's probably the size of your wall. That's how big it was. And I was like, bro, I want that fucking poster, bro.
I'm gonna have that.
I'm gonna have that. I didn't end up getting it, but it just goes to show what I guess. At the end of the day, it's marketing, but it's still like an iconic.
But it had that impact in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It had that desire. You know what I mean? It built it in you, like a fucking cutout board. Yeah. A non-living thing.
Yeah.
Caused that out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I just feel at the end of the day, whether it's whatever genre or whatever medium you're in, I always feel like art should always make you feel something. Yeah. If you go into a movie and you just come out like, then it didn't do its job. Even if you come out hating it.
Venom 2.
Venom 2 was very much a movie.
I don't give a fuck.
I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it's bad.
I think it's bad. I don't give a fuck. That shit is trash.
Well, then it kind of did its job because it gave you that kind of reaction, even if it's a negative.
Oh no, okay, nah.
Nah. But I don't know. Nah. I feel like art, even if it's a negative reaction, it should always give you a response. If the art didn't give you a response, I feel like the artist failed, even if it's a negative one, But
as long as it causes you to feel.
Because I think art should move you.
You don't watch Dave, right? You don't watch Dave. Look, I know you don't.
I just don't like Lil Dicky.
Look. The show makes you not like him. I like Lil Dicky. Yeah. After watching the show, I hate Lil Dicky. he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
But because he's playing the role of someone who's just so into his fucking self. Like, he just thinks he's the shit. He's like walking greatness.
Right.
Watch it. Like you'll see, and I know he's doing it purposely. I know he's doing it on purpose because I know he's a little smarter than we make him out to seem. You know what I mean? Or he at least makes himself out to be. Like he's being a full on artist.
Right.
Just watch it. Okay. Watch it. Just watch it.
Okay.
I know it's a lot to ask for because it's pretty.
It's a whole series.
It's a whole 2 seasons, but like, if you have time,
Okay.
like, you know what I mean. If
I might pop in a few episodes.
Yeah, the first season's really good. I like the second season. I have my doubts, but it's all in the lines of art.
Okay.
And the second season builds all of that.
Okay.
And I just don't know what to make out of it. I know what I think.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you think.
Okay.
Because I know what Dak and T think.
Yeah.
And I love them. But I don't know what they think. Like,
right.
I just know that they're just like, oh, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
You know? But I want to know what you think. What do you think? And I know TT, if you're listening, shut up. Why do you care what Tex thinks?
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess to wrap up this conversation about movies, one more thing that I find very important to me about movies is the director's style. Like, I want the director to have a style. Like, I want to go into a movie and feel like it's like Quentin Tarantino. Because you know Quentin Tarantino when you go in there. You know Christopher Nolan when you go into it. You know Steven Spielberg. You know the big directors, they have their style. And I love that so much because, like, you never know. Or you kind of do know what you're going into. But, like, at the end of the day, you never know. Like, it's just... you know, like, it's just a style.
It's like a world.
Yeah, it's like, this is how they interpret the world. And I want to see, you know, why, or what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, and I just hate these movies where, you know, it's obviously like, well, all movies are employed to get money, but you can tell which ones are made with passion and love.
Of course.
And which ones are just for, you know, let's try to move some tickets. Let's try to move some merchandise, you know? Because, like, what changed my mind about this was the Lego movie. Because, like, like, seeing like, when it first was announced, I was like, for real, the Lego movie.
Nah. Well, okay.
Like,
I'm
saying for me.
True.
I'm saying for me, I was like, I'm making a movie about Lego pieces. Like, what the fuck?
Little
but
did
when
you
see
know.
the movie... When you see the movie, Christopher Miller and Phil Lord, they did their thing, bro.
I want to meet them, and I want to give them hugs, because they care.
Because they care.
They
and
care.
You can see it in the movie. It's not a merchandise. Like, the entire movie, like, they didn't, like buy it. Like, you can tell when they're like buying
they
that,
create
you know?
these moments.
Aren't Legos cool? Kind of. No, it's a real I wouldn't say personal, because at the end of the day, it's still a little pop, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still, for a pop movie, it's still personal. It's about, you know, this person who thinks he's ordinary. There's nothing special about him, but he goes out of his way, you know. Like,
shut up.
He goes.
You're about to make me cry. Like, Lego movie's so good.
It's so fun, and it's so funny, and you can tell there's a lot of passion and heart in this movie. And it's like, wow. But then you go see the Emoji Movie, and you're like, y'all really just made this just to, you know, try to capitalize on, you know, oh, they're making this movie, you know, like off the Lego movie and Lego Batman and all this.
Nah, chill. Lego Batman. What are you saying?
I'm putting that with the Lego movie.
Yeah,
you know?
Nah, Lego Batman was...
Lego Batman is good
I cried with Lego Batman.
Yeah.
I just, like, I didn't want y'all to see me, so I was just kind of like... You know, just kind of like wiping my tears away.
You can tell these movies have passion behind them, and they have care and love. But, you know, sometimes they just don't. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, even if it sucks, I'd rather see a movie that has passion and heart, and you can tell that the filmmaker was like, I'm going to give it my all. And sometimes a majority of movies nowadays, they just don't have that, you know?
Yeah.
And...
That's why I like what Pixar is doing right now. They're kind of going with this like representation, esque, right? But there's a story there. Yeah, there's a story there. Like, it's not just like Coco. You know, they're just like trying to get
Coco made me fucking cry.
Come on,
bro.
Coco's great.
Like, it's hard to make me cry in a movie, and like. There's two things hard for me to happen in a movie. One is cry, and the second one is to be scared in a movie.
Like a jump scare.
A jump scare or whatever. Yeah. And, like, at the end of the spoilers for Coco, if you haven't seen this 8-year-old movie, then here's a spoiler.
It's not 8 years old. It's like 5 years old.
But that's still a long time.
Okay,
And I feel like anything that hasn't been a year, Like, if you haven't seen...
Oh, okay. So is that how the spoilers work?
At least for me, like, if you had a whole ass year to see this movie, if you're not gonna see it now,
hey,
you're not
people
gonna...
live busy lives. Why you hating, bro? You got too much time on your hands.
all right. I guess 2 years. If you haven't seen this movie in 2 fucking years, bro, then you're not gonna see the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Coco, you know, fast forward a few minutes and the spoilers will be over. But, you know, at the end of the Coco, where he has to, you know, it's like kind of like a time thing. He has to hurry up and get to his grandma so he won't forget, you know, her dad. And then he locks his family out and he starts singing "Remember Me," and it's a great build-up because when you first hear "Remember Me," it's kind of this, you know, operatic big song. They kind of like made it like a pop song. But the original meaning of the song was a personal song. Yeah, it was a song between a father and a daughter. Like, remember me, even though I'm, you know, doing all these big things. You know, anytime you look at that moon, I'm looking at it too, and I'm thinking of you. Yeah. You know, and it's so beautiful. And when he came back and, you know, he's singing the song, like, remember me, even the, you know, and then, like, he's tearing up, and, you know, Mama Coco's just, like, you know, fading off. But, you know, she pulls out the little thing. Yeah. She remembers him. I was like, man, I started crying. Like, I was, like, tearing up, and I was like, man, this is so beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
they do that shit good.
It's just, Pixar always finds a way to do that.
And I'm telling you, right now, they're building on that whole representation, because I think this next one is, like, I want to call it Spanish, or just like a Central America movie.
Hey, did you see that Buzz Lightyear
trailer? I just saw. I think it's like my 5th time seeing it.
Oh man, these animation movies are getting crazy.
They're getting so good. Yeah, so good. I think someone said. I think you sent me the pic, right?
Yeah, the little dude. Like Buzz Lightyear better look like this. He got some waves on his head.
He got some piercings too, right?
Shit, fucking. I mean, it does look like a wave cat. I don't know why Buzz wouldn't have some waves under there. But it's crazy that you know. I kind of wanted Tim Allen to do the voice, but I understand why he didn't do the voice, because it's not the toy character.
Yeah, it's like
Buzz.
the real.
It's the actual inspiration of the toy. You know, it's actually Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. And, you know, hopefully Chris Evans hopefully Chris Evans does his thing, you know?
White shirt, my boy Chris. You see Knives Out? Come on.
Bro. He did his things in Knives Out.
Knives Out is my favorite movie right now.
And another big moment that Chris Evans is a part of is Avengers Endgame. Spoilers if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame. But when he catches the fucking Thor hammer, for me as a big superhero fan and all this, you know, even the little hint of it. I don't know if you've seen Avengers Age of Ultron.
No, I haven't.
They have this big and spoilers for Avengers Age of Ultron. They had this little this scene where they're at Avengers Tower, and all the Avengers are like, and they're all taking turns. Like, hey, you think you can lift Thor's hammer? And, you know, Iron Man tries. Iron Man and Rhodey, they both have their little Iron Man hand things using the fucking flying thing. None of them pick them up. I think, you know, Clint, Hawkeye tries. Black Widow's like, I'm not even going to try because I know I'm not worthy. And, you know, Bruce Banner tries, and he's like, what about the Hulk? Can the Hulk do it? And he's like, I'm not even going to bring him out. And then Captain America steps up. And when he tries, you can see it move just a little bit. And you see the face on Thor. He's like, oh, shit. And then I feel like in that moment, Captain America knew he could pick it up. But he didn't want to, like, hurt Thor's feelings. So he's like, I can't pick it up.
Oh, okay.
But, like, you can see, like, it move. And you can see the quick change in Thor's face. Like, is he really about to pick this shit up? You know, and like I like that small detail and the big payoff for, you know, Thanos is about to kill Thor, and, you know, someone throws the hammer and then it flies back and you see who's holding it, and it's fucking Captain America. I remember seeing that moment in theater, and I was like, bro, like just the dopamine that released in my head. I was like, bro, like
it was enough for everybody to
it
sweat.
was just enough, bro. It was just. I'm just saying those little moments in movies, I love it. It keeps me watching.
I don't know. I mean, I stand with Martin Scorsese, and I don't think those movies are cinema. Fucking up his ass.
But yeah.
Alright, chill. My favorite movie is Goodfellas. I ain't tripping. Yeah, Goodfellas. Yeah, but it
what
feels
a
like
discussion today, bro. What a fucking discussion.
I know. Yo, we ran for an hour and 19. I didn't even realize that.
Honestly, it felt like we just barely started talking, bro. But
tripping.
I don't know. I guess
we didn't even get to hit the topics that we
didn't even make none of the topics that we were trying to. In the next episode,
nah, it's good.
You hear some of the topics we were gonna talk about in this one. But if you ever wanted to know what our, I guess, takes on what movies and what I guess some of the what we think movies could and should aspire to be, or like stuff like that. I guess this is our take on it, but and also
just our take on like personal things
and artistry
and just more morals, human morals.
Yeah.
Everything going on the way that we felt about certain things.
Yeah.
So just just so people can humanize us. We're not just weird, dark jokes, judgmental assholes.
Alex Jones, but I don't know. I guess it's up to them to decide whether or not they want more conversation like this, or they want us to be more goofy. Because I like the mixture of both. Maybe some episodes were a little bit more goofy. Some episodes were gonna be a little bit more introspective.
It's just like we can't decide.
Yeah.
I don't want to build like an agenda.
It is go with the flow type shit.
It's that is just Julz and Tex. You like it, good. You don't. Hey, there's other podcasts.
But still give this podcast a like and share it on every...
I'm building a fucking slogan.
All right, go.
There's other podcasts, but they're not as good as this one.
There you go. Give this podcast 5 stars on whatever you're listening to. Give it a like. Make sure you share. Make sure you show love.
Make sure you rent it at Blockbuster.
Make sure to check out our OnlyFans at tex&julz.
Tex&julz.
We dropped special content on there.
Yeah, we're dropping the 12-incher.
The 12-incher.
12-incher. I strap on and I bend you.
You bend yourself over.
I bend Tex over. So, yeah. See you guys on the flippity flip.
All right, guys.
This has been Julz.
This has been Tex.
Peace.
Bye.